Welcome to the Women and Girls EmpoWomen Summit virtual experience across borders. This summit is designed to provide empowerment, advocacy, to raise awareness of the plight of women and girls across borders by documenting similarities and differences and promoting gender-based violence prevention and gender equality in governance. This summit will be a regional, pedagogical, experiential knowledge share of IVLP alumni between 3 continents, collectively with Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, Ghana, Kenya, Sri Lanka, and India. There are 3 components to the summit. 1, focus group discussions to be held in August of 2021. 2, a 5-day virtual workshop to be held November 22nd through the 26th of 2021. And 3, a global summit to be held April 4th through the 8th of 2022. We want you to think, share your thoughts, views, experiences, lend your voice as we advocate for equality and equity and navigate towards governance, peace, and security for our women and girls.
Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland. March on to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks the manner of your bearing. Pledge to excel through love and unity, pressing onward, march together to a common loftier goal. Steady sunward, though the weather hide the wide and treacherous shore. Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland, till the road you trod lead unto your God. March on, Bahamaland.
You may be seated. We're now going to have the UN Small Goals Development Prayer followed by the UN Pledge, and they both will come via video.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Prayer. God of mercy and compassion, after all the years of our violence, you have given a vision of life in community with the earth and with one another. Give us grace to achieve the goals upon which we are united. An education for all, worthy of the human spirit, and the attainment of maturity and wisdom. God, give perseverance. God, give grace. The equality of women and men at all ages and in all areas of responsibility. God, give perseverance. God, give grace. The reduction of inequality within and among the nations that impairs the order and justice of human society. God, give perseverance. God, give grace. The development of structures of justice and peace that all may share equally in human society and in the life of its peoples and institutions. God, give perseverance. God, give grace. The United Nations Human Rights Pledge. I will respect your rights regardless of who you are. I will uphold your rights even when I disagree with you. When anyone's human rights are denied, everyone's rights are undermined. So I will stand up. I will raise my voice. I will take action. I will use my rights to stand up for your rights. Each and every one of us can make a difference.
Thank you so very much for that. And we now want to take this opportunity to welcome all of those who are streaming with us from all over the world, our partnering countries with this project. So we want to say a beautiful 242 welcome to Trinidad and Tobago, Ghana, Kenya, India, Sri Lanka, and we want to give them a round of applause and feel welcome. So we are so delighted to be sharing in this program with you. And at this time,
we will now receive welcoming remarks from the U.S. Embassy by Mr. Todd Sargent.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Mrs. Davis, it's so nice to be with you this morning. Your support today is felt. It's significant, so thank you. And thank you, Ms. Bowe, and special guests this morning. So my name is Todd Sargent. I'm a political officer at the U.S. Embassy here. This is my the fifth country in which I've served. And in each embassy, I've seen firsthand the value of our educational and cultural exchange programs. Some programs focus on leadership, some focus on entrepreneurship, some on renewable energy or other US government policies. But what they all have in common is that the participants in these programs become part of an extended embassy family. And those alumni have access to a vast network of other alumni around the world. They also have access to resources, such as the Alumni Engagement Innovation Fund. So Bahamian Kendra Bowe, who participated in an international visitor leadership program, and her peers from countries including Trinidad and Tobago, Ghana, Kenya, Sri Lanka, and India, did both of those things. They utilized the alumni network to work together and then successfully applied for these alumni engagement funds to implement this virtual project. And so congratulations to all of you. I want to recognize the students from the local public and private high schools, as well as the University of the Bahamas, who were part of this discussion. They are the future. Having their voices heard is essential. This summit focused on youth empowerment, the empowerment of women, and addressed social issues like combating gender-based violence. Kendra Bowe and I did a couple radio interviews together late last year during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. What you are doing, Kendra, is both remarkable and important, as gender-based violence remains a shadow epidemic globally. To wrap it up, I do want to share how pleased I am to see our American corner here at the University of the Bahamas being used so much that now that the pandemic has subsided a little bit. It exists to support the ongoing bilateral relationship between the United States and the Bahamas. So thank you for your attention. Good morning, everyone.
Our students here in the Bahamas had the wonderful pleasure of paying a courtesy call to the office of the first spouse, to the wife of our Prime Minister, Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis, and what a delight they had there. And she has honored us with her presence in being here with us today to give her keynote address live. And at this time, Ramona is going to do the introduction of the Prime Minister's wife.
Many who know her knew her or had the opportunity to work alongside her, whether at one of her charities or in the professional accounting arena, knows Mistress Davis to be an assuming and avid humanitarian, especially in the areas of gender equality and women's rights. Miss Davis tirelessly fight for the empowerment and full
Enfranchisement,
of women, especially those that are poor and
marginalized.
has led her to become involved in social and community work.
Mistress Davis has lent her name, voice, and talents to the local fight for reproductive health and rights, focusing on young women ages 15 to 24 years at risk for juvenile delinquency and premature parenthood at the Bahamas Sexual Health and Rights Association. Further, Mistress Davis supports the Department of Gender Affairs in all its work, especially as it relates to the elimination of violence against women and girls. She was part of the Bahamian delegation to the Commission of the Status of Women Conference at the United Nations for 3 consecutive years. She continues to advocate for an end to all types of discrimination and violence against women and girls and welcomes any opportunity, public or private, formal or informal, to speak out against gender-based violence and discrimination. Mrs. Davis fundamentally believes in being a voice for all beings that cannot speak for themselves. This includes animals. Therefore, she is a devoted member of the Bahamas Humane Society, which is instrumental in looking after all our animals and raising awareness of the importance of owning pets and properly caring for them. In 2015, Ms. Davis was granted the prestigious Woman of Distinction Award for National Leadership for Social Justice and Development by celebrating Women International, a world-renowned non-profitable organization. Mistress Davis sought to become more active in bringing peace to society, so she became a peace ambassador, another arm of urban renewal, when she partnered with several local community groups to reach the inner city areas. For several years, she has partnered with NGOs and organizations including Sandlands Rehabilitation Center, Zonta Club of Nassau, Straw Inc., Teen Challenge, and a host of others. She continues to do so up to this day to uplift, raise awareness, and motivate women, men, boys, and girls. She has always been an advocate for the betterment of the youth of our nation and encourages them to be ambitious and motivated to realize their full potential. Even if we reach them one by one, she says, we would have achieved much. She is married to the Honorable Philip E. Davis, QC, MP, and Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In her own right, she has been very supportive of her husband's political and professional career, along with many of his achievements. Please stand in welcoming the First Lady of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Miss Anne Marie Davis.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Kendra, and the young lady who was just here. Do I have to look at this when I'm talking? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
I probably do, right here. Okay, so good morning again to all of you. Yes, and I'm happy to be here in person to deliver my message to you this morning. So thank you, Madam Moderator, Kendra. And I stand on the protocol already established where she welcomed all the UB students, everyone else here, Mr. Todd, I should say, and everyone else. Hello, Miss Fritz. Hi again. So, first of all, I want to congratulate GPS Women and Girls, the Bahamas branch, for hosting this inaugural EmpoWomen Global Summit. There's a universality to the female experience that transcends borders. Women all around the world know what it means to be overlooked, victimized, made to feel less than, underestimated, held back, and for no other reason other than being a woman. So great is the struggle for equality, so persistent is the oppression, that women have fought tirelessly for centuries just to get us to the compromised reality that we exist in today. Organized women's groups have existed in the Western world for well over 200 years. It speaks to the systematic and culturally ingrained issues that we are battling against, that centuries of effort to have not been enough to deliver equality for women around the globe. So yet we persist. We persist because we understand that equality is worth it. We understand that when you are fighting against a persistent and powerful force, you must likewise even be more tireless and tap into your reserves of strength to be victorious. It is often said that power cedes nothing without a demand. Well, women and supporters of women's rights have made their demands for hundreds of years. With our common experience comes common ties. There is such a variety, a wide array of violence and oppression that women face in many countries throughout the world. But there's a common understanding that unites us all. And this is what GPS EmpoWomen teaches us. While some countries have made progress on certain measures, they can be found lacking on many others. Other regions are defined by an utter lack of progress when it comes to basic rights, freedoms, and protections for women. Regardless of how it manifests, it is all various variations of cultural and systematic violence that seek to harm women and girls. In my own country, here in the Bahamas, we continue to battle with situations of our own. In 2022, women's rights and violence against women are at the forefront of our minds as we have had several incidents of murder, rape, and other forms of violence targeting women in recent months. The public outcry hit a crescendo in the past few weeks with the suicide of a domestic abuse victim who pleaded for help prior to her death. Many of us believed that society failed the strong, beautiful mother. I'm talking about Carissa Calmer. Since then, right-thinking citizens have voiced their concerns about a variety of topics, including the continued push to make marital rape illegal in the Bahamas, because, of course, according to the current law, a man cannot rape his wife in the Bahamas. Others have voiced their concerns about domestic abuse and the need for more effective first responders, as well as other forms of support and researches for women who experience violence, including the provision of more counseling, shelters, and financial support. Just this past week, the country has been gripped in a passionate discussion about sentencing guidelines. So you see, the Bahamas is certainly no exception to these types of issues. Oppression and violence targeting women, I must say, is a universal experience. And GPS women and girls have taught us that the last time we met. Elsewhere in the world, we know of the stories of extreme violence some women face. We know of the regions where honor killings, and attacks are common, to the tune of 5,000 plus honor killings per year. We know about where women are mutilated by acid attacks as their violent loved ones attempt to humiliate them and destroy them. We know of regions where child marriages are still happening. I think over 700 million women in the world were married as children. We know that women and girls are common victims of human trafficking and sex slavery. We know of the 200 plus million women and girls who have been victims of genital mutilation and other customs that shame, maim, and traumatize. Over 100 million girls are still missing. 150 million get raped each year. And the list goes on and on. There's no shortage of cruelty and violence directed at women in this world. I'm reminded of Martin Luther King's quote, "An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Let me say it again. Martin Luther King's quote, "An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." The idea of this being that to stand by and allow these kind of injustices that I just spoke about to occur to our sisters without action, without standing united, eventually puts us all at risk. One thing we know about violence is it is cyclical and it spreads like a disease. It is very hard to end once it's momentum. And this is why we cannot ever allow a single act of violence against women to stand without doing all we can to speak up and demand justice. Zero tolerance for violence should be our baseline. It sure is mine. Earlier, I spoke of the observation that power does not simply self-relinquish. It must have a demand made of it. It must have pressure applied to it. I believe that one of the ways that we can ensure that laws will be changed and customs can be done away with is by putting women in more powerful decision-making roles. When more women are sitting at the seat of power, we can be sure that there is someone who can relate to the need for reforms. In Malawi, for example, a local chief there has made international news thanks to her work in ending child marriages. Thanks to her efforts, thousands of girls can now continue to live their lives as innocent children. That is the power of having women in positions of power. This is not to say that men cannot be successful allies and even leaders in the fight to end violence against women and gain equality for women. In fact, we absolutely need men to support and even lead the way on many of these issues. However, given the huge amount of rights issues that go unaddressed each year, and given the imbalance that exists in most countries in positions of leadership, it's clear that we must get more women in leadership positions if we wish to consistently address the challenges that women face around the globe. But beyond the need to address women's issues, if we truly believe in the value of diversity and in the virtue of equality, then it should naturally follow that women should be represented at all levels of government and at all levels of leadership roles in corporate. Women are roughly 50% of the global population. Why shouldn't women occupy 50% of leadership roles? If we truly value diversity and equality, there is no justification for the disparities that we see throughout many societies. So I want to reiterate the need for representation at all levels. This is not just a call for prime ministers or more CEOs. If we truly want change, then we have to ensure that all women at every level should have access, and they should not be tokens or anomalies. But as a normal day, a normal everyday function of a healthy society, they must be part of running the basis of equality and respect for women and girls. And this is why the GPS EmpoWomen Summit is so important in giving us a chance to connect globally, to share our experiences, and to discuss solutions together. I particularly love the fact that young people were allowed to workshop together in groups, which included young women and men from across the globe. This is rather impressive. This fight has been going on for centuries. Suffice it to say This is not just a struggle of our lifetime, it is one that transcends generations. So, as we generation before us, our duty is to continue to push for change and sacrifice for one another. Eventually, if we have done our job correctly, then we pass the baton on to the next generation. We will also be handing over a better world for women and girls when we do that. We must also remember that we are not all running the same race in the same way. Too often we get so focused on our own immediate experiences that we don't always do all that we can to unite with others who are encountering problems of a different kind. GPS teaches us this. This can be the case for us living in the Western world and our focus on our gender inequality rules. So, as we push for equal pay for equal work, we must also remember to stand in solidarity with our sisters around the world who are not allowed to work or even aren't allowed to go to school. So, let us use our platforms to speak in one voice. Voices travel further when they are combined with others. All around the world, the spark of women's rights and gender equality are being spread. It's what the conversation is globally. And we are seeing progress being made in surprising places. And it is exciting. It is moving. We're seeing progress made in Africa, India, and places that who have been in horrific conditions. We're seeing a lot of improvement and progress in these surprising places. And it is powerful. So, power cedes nothing without demand. Let our unceasing demand be equality, equality for women now. As more voices continue to join ours, there is no way we can be ignored. Let our voices be heard in solidarity. And what did you all teach me last week? What's harmful is universal. Remember that? Okay, so I have to close here now. I thank you and good morning. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, First Lady Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis, for that insightful words of encouragement to us today here at the GPS Summit. And I just want to say, just so that you know, basically how this all came together and how this started. In 2016, we would have had about 15 delegates representing 15 countries from around the world. I would have represented the Bahamas, and we all would have been selected by our various US embassies in each respective country. And we did a training under the US Department of State program called the IVLP program, which is the International Visitor Leadership Program. And we spent about 21 days throughout different countries within the United States. It was an awesome and amazing experience. That led to the group of individuals who are still connected with one another via WhatsApp. That's the power of technology, coming together and saying, hey, let's do something together. And Mr. Todd Sargent mentioned it in terms of the program and the Alumni in Innovative Engagement Fund. And so Honorable Sane, who is from Kenya, he put out a suggestion to the group and he said, let's come together and do something together. And after he would have done that, then followed suit with Mr. Mtima Solwazi, who has his Oral Roots Tradition Foundation in Trinidad. And he is our project lead. And he galvanized us together. We worked together, put our heads together, along with Ritusha from India, Sri Lanka, Shahar from Sri Lanka, and Ghana. We had a different counterpart in Ghana, but then we brought on the Queen Mother from Ghana, and we all came together and we were awarded a flagship program for the 2021 Alumni Innovative Engagement Fund. So So we just want to give a round of applause to all of those from around the world and recognize our able leader, Mr. Mtima Solwazi, who has worked tirelessly putting this together. The time zone alone in navigating the time zone between the different countries has been a challenge. And him and his team have done an excellent job. And so we want to recognize them at this time. And so right now we're going to move right along to the next part of our program where we're going to actually have footage from some of our young women and men from around the world who participated in the program. And of course, we use poetry and spoken word, and they're going to show some of those videos where you can see what some of the other counterparts have been doing. But before we jump right into those videos,
it is my esteemed honor to welcome one of my very own. Coming now to grace us with her beautiful voice is no other than Kaylee. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kaylee Mullings, and I'll be singing the song Rise Up. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. If you can't find the fighter, I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the wave, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. Yeah, we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. Oh, 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 we'll rise. I'll rise up, high like the wave, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. Thank you.
thank you so very much, Kaylee. And that is what we want all of our counterparts, especially our women and girls, to do, is to rise up. Let your voices be heard, because that is the only way we're going to see change.
Up next with her story, I Am Affirmations, all the way from India, is Gladys.
I am realistic and self-sufficient. I wonder, none judge one. I hear time laughing. I see a girl breaking all her bondage. I want her to enjoy and live a dream. I am realistic and self-sufficient. I pretend nothing hurts me. I feel she's stuck in a deep ocean. I touch her invisible scars. I worry if I could not help her out of the ocean. I cry for all her helpless dead sisters. I am realistic and self-sufficient. I understand she's strong but suppressed. I say all change with time. I dream to be real me, to help her to be herself. I try to bring her voice to the world. I hope its voice of her be heard. I am realistic and self-sufficient.
Thank you so very much, Gladys. They're going to show some clips from our participants here in their I Am Affirmations.
I am strong because I've experienced many pitfalls in life, but still I enter each day with strength and endurance.
Myself because once I am confident, nobody else's opinion can bring me down, and I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I am worthy of love because God is my light and my salvation.
I am confident in my decisions because I know that I am capable of making good ones.
I choose the positive thoughts because even though there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, I choose to see the better outcomes in situations.
My name is Delisha Sweeting. I am confident in my decisions because I know who I am in Christ and He guides me in all of my decisions.
I am becoming because each day I strive to do better than the next.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Mullings, hailing all the way from the 242. And my life is going perfectly because with God, anything is possible. And because I am determined and goal-driven.
Following, we have Alina Charles from TNT with her Family in My Life presentation.
Family in my life. My life is filled with loving people. This makes me feel so darn grateful. I am honored for those wonderful people. They make my life so real darn peaceful. So thank you, Mom, and thank you, Dad. You've both made me so darn glad. And then there are grandparents, sisters, brothers, uncles, and aunts. You've all given me everything I could want.
As you can see, we have a dynamic lineup of participants who are sharing from around the world. Thank you so much, Erlina Charles from TNT. Now we're going to switch back to India, and we're going to have another video from India, and that is going to be followed by I Am Affirmations coming all the way in from Kenya, from Sane Girls High School.
I'm ambitious and compassionate. I wonder what I would be like in the next few years. I hear pleading of people for a change. I see people having their finest moments and creating memories. I want to be immaculate and well disposed. I'm ambitious and compassionate. I pretend being nice and cordial. I feel I have a motive and purpose of deserving this life. I test their hard to please myself. I worry of losing trust and disappointing people. I cry for not being better and losing opportunities. I'm ambitious and compassionate. I understand time heals everything. I say motivations cannot always persuade you. I dream of being the best version of myself. I try not letting my loved ones down. I hope my future self will appreciate my actions, and I'm ambitious and compassionate. Thank you. And now for some affirmations that I believe in. I love myself because I'm worthy of love, flaws and all, and no one is perfect. बीते हुए कल के साथ मेरे साथ जो कुछ भी गलत हुआ है मुझे उसका कोई अफसोस नहीं है. Thank you.
I am strong because I'm wise. I love myself because I'm beautiful. I'm becoming because I'm intelligent. I am motor black because I am special. I'm worth of good things because I deserve them. I'm strong in my decision because I'm a good decision.
I can choose positive thoughts because they keep me going. My life is moving forward perfectly because I have faith in God.
I surround myself with loving people because I know I'm safe.
Najizungusha na watu wa matako. Koro ni manyanya.
I let my happiness be visible to others because I trust myself.
Nayaga matako kwa watu wengine. Koro siamini.
Thank you so much, India and Kenya, for those videos. And thank you, Team Bahamas, for your presentations as well. At this time, we're going to show a video from our top participant here in the Bahamas, who's our co-host today, Miss Ramona McLennan.
Across the globe, gender-based violence exists. Many may be aware, but do you really understand? What is gender-based violence? For starters, gender-based violence is the manipulation of a person's well-being based on one's sex or gender. This is usually projected as an emotional, psychological, verbal, physical, and/or sexual form of abuse. Such undermined issues have a major effect on today's society. 1 in 3 females worldwide experience gender-based violence. 2 in 10 males experience this as well. Many seem worried. This is the harsh reality no one talks about. According to an international survey, many females encounter such experiences as young as 13 years old. Rape, sexual harassment, verbal abuse, stalking, exploitation, and psychological manipulation are just a few. Then there's men and boys. It can be summarized in just 5 words. They experience the same thing. More likely, males refuse to speak up and or be acknowledged, mainly because of the stereotypical misinterpretation of masculinity. How are we ever supposed to be at peace when gender-based violence goes unrecognized? A common misconception is that these issues are self-caused. In any household, country, workplace, relationship, gender-based violence can occur. Gender-based violence has no boundaries.
Thank you so much, Ramona, and to all of our participants all around the world. We were so delighted to have the schools and organizations who partnered with us in the form of the Yes Foundation, students from the University of Bahamas, students from Princess Court Ministries, Pre-Connection Ministries, and also some of the private and public high schools who participated with us. And those students showed up in our focus group discussion where they were lively and persuasive in their debates as they talked about the issues that are affecting us as it pertains to gender-based violence. And so we're now going to do some e-certificates, and we're going to now go to that part of the program where we want we're going to show the certificates online just to recognize you, Mr. Clint Nuri. And you can give the students a round of applause as the names are called. And you can give a wave so persons can know who you are. Mr. Matthew Miller. Ms. Precious John. Mr. Desmond Bolag. Ms. Johnny Baptiste. Shazenya Smith. Hadassah Taylor. Mr. Kenrick Higgs. Miss Natalia Johnson. She's actually on one of our family islands now. Miss Shaddai Hannah. Miss Delisha Sweeting. Miss Asia Roll. Miss Tegan Thordison. Mr. Royce Hyler. Miss Shawnique Lightfoot. Miss Ramona McLennan. Miss Farah Benaby. Miss Abronique Oliver. Miss Ashley Wiley. Miss Tierra Roca. Miss Kenrica Roll. Miss Alicia Eldon. Miss Asia Butler. Asia is one of our participants from Harbor Island. Miss Kaylee Mullings. Mr. Shaquille Morinda. Miss Raynell Cunningham. And there were 7 males and 6 females from the Willie Mae Pratt and Simpson Pen, whose names we cannot mention or recognize publicly, but we want to give them a round of applause for their participation as well. And for our Harmful Cultural Practices workshop, our leaders had the opportunity to take part in the Harmful Cultural Practice workshop, where they would have done a train the trainer so that they would have now been much more knowledgeable in the harmful cultural practices that takes place around the world. So Miss Nayoka Johnson, Miss Kenya Higgs Moss, Miss Stella Annette Humes, Mr. David Williams, Miss Tanisha Fowler, Miss Janice Johnson, Miss Stephanie Frith, and then I think we have the final one, and these certificates are for the overall summit for our facilitators. So Miss Kenya Higgs Moss, Miss Stella Annette Humes, Mr. David Williams, Miss Tanisha Fowler, Miss Janice Johnson, Miss Stephanie Frith, Mr. Shivago Line, and Miss Marion Bethel. Now, Mistress Bethel is not here as yet, but Miss Bethel is advocate. Each one of the countries had to select an advocate from their prospective countries to go into the book that is being compiled from this summit. So Miss Marion Bethel, she is our GPS advocate representing the Bahamas. So you can all give yourselves a round of applause. So at this time, there is a video that we have that is showcasing just the journey that we have gone on. It's a brief video, and we're going to go to that video at this time, giving an overview of the project.
Greetings from the Bahamas. I am Kendra Bow, project co-lead and founder and CEO of the Rite of Passage Project, a youth and community-based organization focused on youth and community development. I am delighted to be a part of such a stellar cast of individuals representing Trinidad and Tobago, Ghana, Kenya, India, and Sri Lanka. The GPS Empowerment Summit was a labor of love and commitment. It was a journey of growth and empowerment for all involved. I am encouraged that our efforts have yielded much fruit as we focus on targeting gender-based violence against women and girls, advocacy to promote nonviolence and women in leadership, life skills to develop and maintain healthy relationships, and techniques to build self-esteem. We explored gender-based violence in a cross-country context, mapping similarities and differences, recognizing that what is harmful is universal. From our lively and persuasive discussions during our focus group discussion, to our informative workshops and empowering educational harmful cultural practices, Train the Trainer, our participants and leaders have been a reservoir soaking up knowledge and wisdom that came through our well-able leaders and facilitators. We continued into the new year with our International Day of Women and Girls in Science and International Women's Day, where Dr. Indira Martin, Aisha Bow Martin, Kendra Wallace, and the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, our longest-serving female parliamentarian, so ably represented our island nation of the Bahamas. And then we had a royal visit from our project partner, Her Royal Highness Princess Meridian Adedoyin Salarin, and we made the rounds to a Kefren International Academy and New Providence Classical School. We produced essays, poetry, affirmation, videos, and made a courtesy call to the Office of the Prime Minister's wife, Miss Anne-Marie Davis. To our facilitators, contributors, program partners, and schools, we want to say a big thank you, and we look forward to continuing the work we have started.
All right, so give yourselves a round of applause again. As you can see, we've covered much ground over these past 9 months that this program has been going on. And so at this time, we're going to move on, covering 2 more videos. This next video is coming in from India, and it's going to be followed by a video from Trinidad and Tobago.
Good afternoon, I am Kshitija Kusre, and this is my video submission for the I Am Self-Affirmations. I am strong because I've almost seen it all. I am strong because I've gone through the depths of darkness and came back alive. I'm strong because I believe in myself that whatever happens, I'll still be there. I love myself because all of the things I do for myself. I love myself because I love me. I love myself because of how I take care of myself. I love myself because of the strong boundaries I've started to set. I am becoming because I'm finally realizing who I am supposed to be. I am becoming because I'm a force to be reckoned with. I am becoming because I'm finally acknowledging my trauma and am beginning to heal from it. I am worthy of love because I know what a wonderful human I am, because I know what value I provide to others, because I know of my kindness, of my heart, of the wonderfulness I have in myself. I am worthy of good things because I work hard for it. I am worthy of good things because I know even if I fail, I'll still be there tomorrow. I am confident in my decisions because all my life it has been just me. And wait, it has turned out to be pretty awesome. I can choose positive thoughts because that is the tone I want to set for myself. I can choose positive thoughts because I am that privileged to choose them.
Somebody say fire. Boom. Oh yeah.
I care about sharing housework fairly because it teaches children that men, whether fathers, sons, uncles, or brothers, understand what it takes to create a loving home. Women too often deals with a double or triple burden of care work. But childcare is not only women's work, also washing, cooking, and cleaning are not gender roles. They are life skills.
said, they are life skills. And one of the things that was important that we wanted to use that video as our ending video was to acknowledge that our move towards equality is not going to work unless we have males who are partnering with us. And so, whether it's our husbands, our fathers, and whether it's you, the young men who are in this room today, we need you to stand with us as our allies as we push forward to say that women's rights are indeed human rights. When we were at the Office of the First Spouse, there was a video clip that we put together, and we thought it would be so fitting to use that video as our ending video for today, as we talked about what was harmful was universal. In our 30 plus different harmful cultural practices that were recognized during our Train the Trainer segment, we realized that what may take place in India may not be the same thing that takes place in the Bahamas, or what takes place in Kenya may not be the same thing that happens in Trinidad, or what takes place in Sri Lanka may not be the same thing that happens in Ghana. But what we realize is that what affects one has the potential and the ability to affect us all. And so we want to now go to that video clip that we're going to end our segment here with today on what is harmful is universal. And we'll come back with our closing thoughts.
What's harmful is universal.
Lovely. So I'm sure a lot of you remember that video. And for those who are viewing around the world, I want us after we give our vote of thanks for today, if we could stand and just shout it to the top of our voices so that they could feel it in India, Sri Lanka, Kenya, and Ghana, who are watching this with us today. And so now Ramona is going to give her final thoughts for today.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. for having me here. I would like to say a huge extended thank you to the project team, my fellow participants, Mrs. Davis, for taking out this time out of your busy schedule. We really did pray for this moment. And so thanks especially to our viewers tuning in from all different time zones. So it is my honor to be co-host of this event. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And so we just want to acknowledge and thank at this time, again, our project lead, Mr. Mtima Solwazi, and his team, Emmanuel Villafani, who have been working around the clock. Like I said, it is not easy managing different time zones. So it's 6 countries, 3 continents, and the different time zones. Sometimes I'm getting a call or he's getting a call, and it's like 3 a.m. on our side, and then you're looking at someone who's like, okay, well, what time is it for you? And we had to manage and navigate all of that in order to be able to put this event on. It was wonderful sharing the platform with another female on this project, because if you would have noticed, there would have been 4 men representing the other countries and 2 females. And so a big shout out to Ritusha from India. We love you here from the Bahamas. And then we also want to recognize the Honorable Sane from Kenya. The Honorable Sane is doing amazing work in Kenya. The Sane girls' school that you saw there were girls who were rescued from charges and female genital mutilation. And for those of you who may not be aware what the female genital mutilation is, we'll discuss that more at a later time. But they were rescued. And so that he opened up a program, a facility, and eventually it was turned into a school. And so big shout out to Sani for the work, the amazing work that he is doing in Kenya. And off to Ghana to Queen Mother, Nana Tessawa III. She joined our cast when one of our members from Ghana could not, and she was able to put together a dynamic of facilitators and young persons down there from Ghana. One of the things I learned from our session when Ghana was on was the fact that there were certain things that may have happened in the west of Ghana that may not have been taking place in another part of Ghana. And so it shows that even within your country, sometimes you may think something's not happening in your country, but it may be happening in another part of it. And that was one of the things that came through the focus group discussion. And from Sri Lanka, when we had International Women's Day, we came to discover that the first female prime minister of the world was from Sri Lanka. And so it goes to show you that women have been making impact even from way back then. And so we want to acknowledge them at this time. And so I want to say thank you to our team of facilitators, Ms. Stella Annette Humes, Ms. Kenya Higgs-Moss, Mr. David Williams, Ms. Janice Johnson, and Tanisha Fowler, for all of the support you've given in allowing us to put this program on. And we want to send love from the Bahamas to the rest of the world, and reminding you once again, and everybody, what is harmful is universal. Goodbye from the 242.
Welcome to the Women and Girls EmpoWomen Summit virtual experience across borders. This summit is designed to provide empowerment, advocacy, to raise awareness of the plight of women and girls across borders by documenting similarities and differences and promoting gender-based violence prevention and gender equality in governance. This summit will be a regional, pedagogical, experiential knowledge share of IVLP alumni between 3 continents, collectively with Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, Ghana, Kenya, Sri Lanka, and India. There are 3 components to the summit. 1, focus group discussions to be held in August of 2021. 2, a 5-day virtual workshop to be held November 22nd through the 26th of 2021. And 3, a global summit to be held April 4th through the 8th of 2022. We want you to think, share your thoughts, views, experiences, lend your voice as we advocate for equality and equity and navigate towards governance, peace, and security for our women and girls.